Ever since one kid on the playground said, "My dad can beat up your dad," people started debating which fictional or historical character would win in a fight. Whether it's Lu Bu versus Yamato, Super Saiyan 4 Omen Vegito versus Cosmic Armored Superman, Popeye versus Luffy, or whatever else you can think of, people just like to argue about their favorite fictional or historical figures.
No. He's got a point.
Of course, very popular fictional characters are not static. Throughout the years, they just keep getting stronger and stronger. And while it's fun to debate about really powerful characters like Super Saiyan 4 Omen Heroes Broly versus Titan Hulk, or 10,000 Saiyans fighting against 10 quadrillion Viltrumites, or even how powerful DCAU Amazo is, sometimes I just like to take two characters that are weaker than the average human and pit them up against each other.
I don't like where this is going.
In this video, I will be breaking down a fight between the human walrus from the movie Tusk versus the human centipede from the movie, well, Human Centipede. Now, I'm only going over the human centipede from the first Human Centipede movie, not the one from Human Centipede 2 or 3. I'm pretty sure that we can all agree that the human walrus wouldn't stand a chance against an entire prison population-sized human centipede.
Claims that it's 100% medically accurate!
God, that movie was ridiculous. And as for Human Centipede 2, I don't want this video to get demonetized. First of all, let me go over why the human centipede and the human walrus are below the average human. The scientists from the movie Tusk, as well as the scientists from the movie Human Centipede, didn't really seem all too afraid of their creation uprising against them. Howard went for a little swim with his walrus creation, and even leaned on him. Dr. Hyder treated his human centipede creation like a pet dog. He made them eat dog food, fetch his newspaper, and other stuff like that. Now granted, near the end of the movie, the head of the human centipede managed to stab him in the leg, but they had a weapon and they got the drop on him. Howard was killed by his walrus creation, but that only happened because he was in a walrus suit himself, which of course greatly restricted his mobility.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's now time to go over the strengths and weaknesses of the human centipede and the human walrus. At first, this debate may sound pretty cut and dry. After all, the human centipede is made up of 3 people, and the human walrus is only made up of 1 person. Also, the 3 people making up the human centipede seem significantly less deformed than the human walrus. But the human walrus does have those really nice and sharp tusks, and I will only allow the human centipede to use whatever weapon they can find on the ground. I'm not gonna give them a scalpel or a sharp piece of glass or anything like that. The human walrus can only use his tusks and nothing else. Even if I gave him a chainsaw, he couldn't use it cause he ain't got no hands. Right out of the gate, the human centipede would have the advantage cause he can pick up stuff and throw it at the human walrus. Now granted, it's really hard to throw stuff when you're on your hands and knees, but it's a lot harder to throw stuff when you ain't got no hands. By the time the human walrus gets up to the human centipede, he's already gonna have a few cuts and bruises from the rocks that the human centipede threw at him. But the human walrus is built like an absolute tank. The average walrus's skin is about 1 inch thick, while the average human skin is only about 4 millimeters. The scientist who operated on him wanted to make him as close to a walrus as he possibly could. Aside from his face, the rest of the skin on his body is about 5 times thicker than the skin on the average human. Now this does not mean he's as durable as the average walrus. His body is pretty crudely stitched together, and he still has normal human bones, minus the legs of course, and normal human muscles.
Yes, science!
Now let's go over battlefield intelligence. Now while the human centipede does have 3 brains, they unfortunately do not have good communication between them. The middle piece and the end piece can't talk at all, mainly because their mouths are full of shit. Even if they could talk, they cannot speak nor understand Japanese. And the head is a Japanese man who can't speak English.
I'll never forgive the Japanese!
If one wants to go left and the other wants to go right, they're gonna stumble. Have you ever done or seen a 3-legged race? If you have, then you would know that 2 people running alongside one another aren't as fast as one guy running by himself. There's a reason why the fastest man is Usain Bolt, not Usain Thunder and Lightning. The mobility hindrance on the human centipede is like that, but 10 times greater, if not 100 times greater. Now before you say, wait, can't the Japanese guy in front just stand up? Well, no, he can't because all of their ligaments in their knees have been cut. In this fight, if the human centipede wanted to make quick moves movements, they're gonna stumble. But the human walrus, who only has one person controlling the body, can just frolic around all over the place. The human walrus should be able to maneuver around the human centipede, and use his tusk to stab into the middle, or the end body. Guys, I'm gonna be honest here. To me, it's pretty clear that the human walrus would be able to defeat the human centipede. Sure, the human centipede can use ranged attacks, they have opposable thumbs so they can actually pick up weapons, and of course they have more health. But the human walrus has a built-in weapon, therefore he has higher attack power. He has more durability going off of how thick his skin is, and because he has one brain controlling one body, he surprisingly has more agility as well. The human walrus was also able to kill the doctor who experimented on him. Yes, the doctor did start off the fight with wearing the walrus suit, but near the end of the fight he took the suit off, yet the human walrus was still able to kill him. After this fight, the human walrus was able to live in a zoo for an entire year. Yep, he fully adapted to a walrus's lifestyle. The back piece of the human centipede was dying because, well, she was eating poo-poo, and humans did not evolve to eat shit. And it wasn't just shit, it was crap that was already previously digested. The only way I can see the human centipede actually winning this fight is if the end piece grabbed the human walrus and dug his eyes out with his thumbs. But 9 times out of 10, I think the human walrus would win. Well, this is without a doubt the lamest and grossest versus fight I've ever done. It might even be the lamest and grossest versus fight on the entire internet. But I'm gonna get back to work on my all versions of Goku versus all versions of Superman video now. Tell me if you disagreed with any points I brought up in this video, and leave your suggestions on what you would like me to talk about next time. Please check out my main channel if you're interested. Anyways, I'm gonna get going now. See you guys next time!